morning. Around 1 a.m., we received a call from Arman Tsarukyan, who informed us that he was experiencing significant back pain due to the injury. He feels like he is not healthy enough to compete. So he is out of the fight. Stepping in to face Islam Makachev for the title will be Renato Moicano. Moicano's been on a tear, moving up to 155 pounds, and currently holds the longest active win streak amongst all fighters in the top 10 of the lightweight division. He's won 6 of his last 7 fights, including his last 4 in a row, with 3 of those coming by finish. The guy is an absolute savage, and every fight he's in is a war. He weighed in on championship weight to be prepared as the backup in case something happened. And when we spoke to him this morning, I can tell you he wants this fight. And when I called Islam, Islam said, brother, I am the champion. I don't care who it is. I will fight anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, the pound-for-pound number 1 fighter in the world, Islam Makachev versus Renato Moicano for the lightweight title. Live tomorrow night from the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles, California. I will see you there.
Wow, so finally...
What's up, everybody? I have some breaking news for you this morning.
Found guy in the world. Finally admitted it. Not John Jones. Crazy. But wow. This explains Arman's behavior on that press conference where he was like, yeah, I don't care. I am going to win the title. Yeah. And yeah, I don't care about the fans. I'm just going to win. Yeah. And it's like every response he gave was like 4 or 5 seconds. I think he knew in the back of his mind, dude, I'm not ready for this shit. Dude, this injury.
And to me, I was like, hey, watch the presser reaction. But I was like, hey, both these guys are just really respectful. Nothing. I didn't see anything. But as you said, it kind of explains it. But I wasn't like, oh, there's something up with him. Right. By the way, I mean, how many pressers has he really been on? Not too many. Also, he doesn't speak English; isn't his first language.
Right, a little awkward there.
But I didn't get any inclining, right?
Yeah, I didn't get it either. But looking back at it in hindsight, the behavior there.
Good observation there. But more importantly, we can talk about Arman later. More importantly, the issue at hand. Renato Moicano is stepping in to fight Islam Makachev on short notice. He is on championship weight. He can win the belt. I'm guessing the commission has already approved it, which they should have. But why are chat comments off?
No, I see it. Hey, Hank. Andrew B's here. What's up, Andrew?
Weird. Anyway, so I guess let's break this down. Does Renato Moicano have a chance?
I really don't think so, because I feel like a lot of Arman's game is in the grappling and taking Islam down, and Islam's already prepared for someone who's trying to do that. And I feel like on the feet, I think it's clear that Renato Moicano isn't going to be the one who's cracking Islam's chin or getting through the guard. Like, he could hardly get through the guard of Benoit Saint-Denis in round 2. So it's just tough, man. He needs to take him down and just pin him there, and nobody's been able to do that with Islam.
It beckons me back to the fight with Islam and Charles. I can see Islam even doing something really similar, hurting him on the feet, taking him down, subbing him. Game over.
Yeah. I feel like this is going to be a Islam Volk 2 situation. Hey, it's on short notice. Man, everybody's hyped. Oh, this is an even cooler main event than what was supposed to happen. Oh, he got destroyed immediately. Oh. Man, I'm sad this was booked, So then what happened? So Benny's just out. Benny's just chilling. He's on vacation. He's like, oh, shit. Looks like I'm going to have to find another opponent. I guess they're not paying me. They're saying that Charles Oliveira is in the sauna trying to make catch weight for Benny. That'd be interesting. That'd be like Dan Ige hanging out in the crowd and being ready for Diego Lopez. That'd be crazy if true. I'd be excited for that too.
So yeah, let's break down the fight again. So we're in agreement in chat. Let us know. Does Renato Moicano have a chance? Hank and I are pretty much in lockstep that no, he does not. Unfortunately, but you know the late notice nature of the fight is very interesting.
I think Moicano is definitely going to get a boatload from this one. Stepping in on short notice, he will be rewarded handsomely.
He should. He should. And you know what? Islam should as well.
Yeah, no doubt. But man, I just see it going like Islam Volk 2, where it's just like, wow, crazy out of nowhere move that Moicano didn't see coming. He is in the sauna, confirmed. Not confirmed if he is there for a fight yet, but reporters made that update. I mean, why else would a fighter be in the sauna right before Saturday? Come on,
dude,
it's not late.
That's a good point. This is breaking news.
When's the last time we had a switch up like this? It wasn't since UFC 278, 279 with Diaz and Chimaev.
Yeah, and Hamza. Yes. Now, interesting that Khabib is Khabib had his whole thing with the Conor fight, and now Islam has something similar happening to him with this. I mean, obviously, completely different set of circumstances. I don't think this is gonna up pay-per-view sales or anything like that. I'm pissed, dude.
Yeah, I am too.
And I don't know if I'm pissed. Now I'm happy for Beneil Dariush. Like,
thank God,
because I didn't want to see him get splattered all over the cage.
Well, he might still get splattered by Charles.
It 100%. If Charles does come in, better fight for Beneil. I really like Beneil. It's a better fight for Beneil getting Charles on late notice, right? But the problem is this was supposed to be like one of the best fights of the year. Not as far as like a slobber knocker, like crazy fight, just one of the best fights in the year, like as far as
competitive fight
and mixed martial arts skill in the cage. And now it's turning into Renato Moicano on short notice, getting the shot. How old is Renato Moicano right now? Do you know?
Isn't he like 36, 35? No, 35.
35. This is his last
hurrah.
This is it. This is it for him to win a title. So there's that. That does play into it, right?
Why expected for sure. That's what he wanted, was the belt.
Mm-hmm.
So now he finally has his chance at it, but it's probably the worst possible chance you could give a person.
Not only that, Islam Makachev, if he defends the title successfully, he will break the lightweight title defense record. But it is somewhat of a stain on his legacy, right? You broke the title defense record, but you did it against Renato Moicano on short notice, literally a day's notice. Now, he was in camp, but talk to me about that.
To be fair, there's been a lot of fights that Islam's had during his reign that you could consider stains on his legacy. Like, oh, he only fought Volk, who was in featherweight, who was a weight class down, and the second time was on short notice. And now you're fighting Dustin Poirier, who's already fought for a title a million times, who got beat by, your good friend Khabib, and he gave you a big competitive fight before you got that sub. And so this is his fourth. This is his fourth defense, right?
Yes, this will be his fourth defense on Saturday.
That's a pretty small amount of defenses for a UFC title. Like middleweight, 10, 11, flyweight, 10, 11. This one, like bantamweight and lightweight, are like
hold on. I want to push back against that, because you're saying it's a small number of title defenses, and I won't say that's not true, but it's like, dude, we're talking about the most competitive division in the sport, probably.
Right.
Not to mention featherweight and bantamweight. I don't even think any bantamweight belt holder has ever defended the belt 3 times. And we're also talking about divisions that have a longer history. But this is a very competitive division. So like it is very significant for him to reach 4 title defenses. Something that no other lightweight has ever been able to do. But I do understand, like, it's like, hey, and even with Khabib, right? It's like Dustin, and who's his other title defense?
Oh, it was against Justin Gaethje.
He had 3 title defenses.
Yeah, Connor,
Dustin.
Justin.
Oh, and Connor.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, he was elevated to the champion.
Yes.
After so he won the undisputed when he beat Al. So Connor, okay.
Yeah.
Connor, Dustin, Justin. Connor, I don't think we knew it at the time, but he wasn't in prime form, obviously. Dustin was clearly not ready. And I think the Justin Gaethje win for Khabib was his best win, like his finest form. And I think it was so unceremonious that he had considered to retire at that point because he just looked like peak Khabib, right? The reason I bring this up is to second that with Islam's title defenses. Winning the belt against Charles, defending it twice against Volk, and then who was his last title defense?
Dustin.
Okay, yeah, Dustin. So 2 times against a featherweight. 1 time was controversial. 2nd time he definitively won. Fantastic for him.
Yeah.
And then you get Dustin, who's already been beaten by Khabib.
And he gives him a tougher fight than Khabib, in my opinion.
Past his prime, and yes, exactly. His toughest fight.
And now it has another short notice title defense.
So you have 2
short notice.
2 short, and 2 common opponents to the last lightweight champion, right?
Yeah.
Who beat those guys definitively.
Yeah.
So
you could actually make an argument, to my opinion, you could make an argument that it's like it's tied. You know, it's not like clearly better because.
Oh, as far as Khabib's run?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying like on merit alone.
Right.
Him breaking the lightweight title defense is an achievement.
It is.
But yeah, I'm not. I don't think anyone's arguing that Khabib's run is not as good as Islam's.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of comments we need to catch up on. Moicano is going to get the money. What is up?
Guaranteed.
Chris Gray. Cheddar, Charles is in the sauna right now. Not confirmed for a fight, but to make catch weight. And Hank made a fantastic point. Why else would he be in the sauna if it wasn't to attempt to make weight and have a fight with Neil Dariush?
He'd still be hanging out in his hotel. He wouldn't be in the sauna.
Moicano no give a shit about legacy, my brother. Moicano wants money.
Yeah, and he should stick to it. Stick to the principle.
Shout out to Real Estate Al. I don't know. Oh, Khabib won the belt off. Yeah. Oh, come on, Hank. The record is 3. Yeah. No, it is. It would be a fantastic achievement.
Amazing.
Arman was the only hope. What is up, Surat? Yeah. No, dude. I mean, I had Islam beating Arman, and I think both of us did. But
yeah,
it was going to be
a close one.
It was going to be the best fight of the year. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like one of the best fights of the year, just MMA competition wise.
That actually brings me to my next question because we were all concerned about him having staph and that being the reason why he would potentially pull out or not do as well. But it ended up being a back injury that does it, not the staph. That's what interests me.
BJ could have had more. Yeah, 100%. You know what interests me though is like, did the UFC really? Because obviously in Dana White's yelling post, which we can play again.
What's up, everybody? No, please don't.
I think it's important for people to hear it again. I'm not saying like, oh, we have to play it again. I'm just saying if people haven't heard, I think it would be important. But what I was saying is like, how did they not know that he was injured like a couple days ago at the most? And then they had him at the presser still. That's what's weird to me.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts about that?
I don't know. I think fighters just stay super, super secretive until Friday. Like they didn't know that Hamzat was sick as a dog until Friday or Saturday. So they seem to pay no attention to their guys until they're there at media day.
Sure. And then also like, you know, if you go to the doctor and something's up with you, unless your arm is literally like hanging off your shoulder. I mean, Renato Moicano, speaking of him, he just went into his last fight with a dislocated fucking, what was it, collarbone, shoulder?
Yeah, collarbone.
Yeah, so it's like, you know, if you don't say anything, the doctors aren't going to know anything. Yeah. But also, I feel like there is some level of like, dude, the guy's fucking collarbone is clearly out of place. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no.
Sven, good to see you. He says, this is a wild mix-up. The card gets a little worse, but still very interesting. 100%.
I'll be satisfied if all the fights get substituted for something else.
Dustin gets sparked if he fights rank 4 to 8. I don't know about that. I don't know about Sparked. Wish they gave Benny a fight. I mean, that is the thing that sucks, is that Benny, in his place of residence, his hometown. But also, like, if you're Beneil Dariush, you understand. I think you've been in the game long enough, dude. This is a chance for him to win the title.
Yeah, he's been through event cancellations before as well. He was around during the pandemic. People forget, man. Gray Maynard, a bully. His nutritionist was making him pasta on fight week in the embedded episodes.
MMA experts reported staph 3 days ago.
Yeah,
it's a back injury.
Yeah, and it ended up not being that, which is
the X-ray of Moicano's shoulder looks like a xenomorph. It's yeah.
But again, anybody who calls doubt on a potential injury or a disease to a fighter before fight day, 3 for 3 so far. Benoit, Islam admitted that he had staph, and now Arman is out. So if they're doubt, believe him.
Well, no. I you're absolutely right. But while this was being reported in the chat to me, I was like, hey, hold on. Let's just wait. He's got 30 more minutes to weigh in. Right. So I don't think that it's crazy for somebody to just wait for an official announcement. No, but you make, and I even said this while it was happening. I was like, let's wait for it to happen. But the Twitter rumor mill
is going crazy.
Well, the Twitter rumor mill is generally right. Unfortunately, as far as these fighters' injuries and pullouts and things are concerned.
Mm-hmm.
I was pumped for Benny versus Moicano. I wasn't.
I was.
I mean,
that was a fight I wanted from Moicano for a very long time. I think since his win over Drew Dober, I was like, dude, Benny next. And then that got skipped to Benoit for some reason, and now he's here, of all places.
I just wasn't, because I didn't think the fight would be competitive.
Right.
Should still hold everyone accountable for their Moicano bets. People fighting with staph all the time, tough with a lower back injury. Staph probably doesn't help with the healing or pain management process. Yeah, and I mean, it should be said that, and I don't know if Hank agrees with me. You can tell me, but it should be said that most fighters go into fights injured.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Yeah, minor. It could be a toe. It could be your finger. It could be an arm. Yeah, you're
this
injured.
This is a way, shape, funny comment. Dariush won by forfeit. Let's go.
Give him his prize money. Yeah, put it on the record.
And Benny will get some show money, and I hope that they make it good and give him even more than that. But
yeah, compensate him. He's been out for a while, man, like a year. You need some of that.
You imagine that Benny will probably fight on like the next card.
Yeah, or fight all there. That's still up in the air.
We'll see. Please no. Please no. I want Benny to get a competitive fight. I think Charles, as well as Renato. I think most top lightweights just smear the floor with him.
Yeah, it's a shame. His chin is sort of gone.
Yeah, he's just been in the game for a long time, dude.
It's a shame.
He's not looking good. I mean, he's on a 4-fight losing streak, isn't he? Or 3?
Okay, 1 and then 2. No, he's only on a 2-fight losing streak. He beat Gamrot, and then he took on Oliveira, who he lost to by knockout. It seems like 3 because he got knocked out twice in 2 fights.
Right.
Yeah, but it's bad, man. I mean, what else can you say? And honestly, like, I think this is almost worse than 294, because at least there was like one matchup in there that felt competitive. Like, oh, Volk, he had made it competitive with Islam before, and hey, Usman's the welterweight champion, so maybe he'll give Hamzat a run from his money. Or people doubted that Usman would beat him, and then that ended up being a really close fight. In my opinion, I had it a draw. So, but this one, I feel like
Islam.
I feel like Islam's just gonna just destroy him in round 1. I feel so sad because I love Moicano, but I don't think he has a chance, man. He just looks stilted on the feet. He does. It's true.
Yeah. It's the same. It's a very similar matchup, and I don't mean to like just phone it in by giving this analysis, but I think it's a similar matchup to Charles versus Islam, except for Renato is a little less skilled on the ground. I think, Renato's a little less skilled on the feet in accordance, in comparison to Charles.
But on the feet,
But
they're
I
sort
guess
of similar in a way. They are sort of similar in that they likes to keep it up close and fire with an elbow and keep it in the clinch and in the pocket. And what did Islam do in the Charles fight? Block, hook, down you go.
Yeah,
he's just gonna do that.
Down he goes, an immediate arm triangle.
Yep.
Now I would argue that Renato has a better top game than Charles, just as far as control wise.
Right.
But I mean, that's about it. And I think that that's just pretty much a moot point when it comes to fighting somebody like Islam,
But wouldn't it be insane if he did get Islam down and just pinned his limbs and he just did? Well, but then again, like Arman would have done that. That's why it doesn't work, man. If he was facing a striker like a Poirier and then Moicano comes like, oh shit, now it's grappler versus grappler and Islam doesn't know what to do. But he was preparing for a grappler. I can't even entertain the possibility because Arman does the same thing. He's on top and he destroys you on top. Moicano's on top. He delivers damage on top and he keeps you down. I'm not going to say, a discount version of Arman, but it's like their fight styles are very similar. Maybe that gives him a chance, but at the same time, if you're training for him and you get someone who, in my opinion, is just sort of lower in the rankings, that doesn't help his case at all.
There's good and bad to if you're Renato Moicano. There's good and bad to the situation.
Yeah.
One honestly, being that you're in fantastic standing with the UFC after this.
Yes,
obviously
you'll get a great fight. Maybe he'll get the Patty fight after this. It'll be you'll wait, and then you'll get the matchup you want. Or he can fight in the top 5.
Yes. Another good thing is that that Renato Moicano, no matter what he does in there on Saturday, unless it's like you said, unless it goes exactly like the Charles fight, right, where he just gets knocked down and subbed real quick,
or
submission one. Yeah,
remember, Moicano has been closed out cold by featherweights and lightweights before.
Dude, that Fazeev knockout.
Oh
my gosh. But he will get tons of moral victories.
No doubt.
If he can make it the distance, that'll be shocking. But also, now it puts the pressure on Islam, and maybe he won't feel it, but from the fans, for him to really go in there and make a statement
quick, just like he did with Volk on the short notice rematch to prove that he's got it.
Bingo. I need to step out for just 1 second. I need to use the bathroom.
No problem. I'll read some chats. Hey guys, crazy news. Sending it to Giuliano. I agree with that, Hank. He's wobbled at some point, but he will fight it out. Charles is so dazed. Yeah, it's just strange, man. Moicano can be static at times, and he really needs to be close to fire off some combinations. Islam's great in the pocket. Moicano is worse everywhere than Charles, other than his wrestling slightly. That's why he needs to take him down. It's honestly, this fight could be determined in the first couple rounds for both guys. Islam could knock out Renato Moicano in the first round, which is probably going to be my prediction. But Moicano could also get him down and then just deliver some damage and treat his face just like did Benoit Saint-Denis and just wait for the doctor to stop it. That's his best option. Well, Volk had most of his greatest impact on Islam when he was on top in the 5th round after he dropped him. So that has to be his goal, to get Islam down definitively and beat the crap out of him. So it can either get stopped by the ref or the doctor. Moicano was preparing for a grappler too. Yeah, but the thing is that Islam's a hybrid. Islam is, I believe, just as talented on the feet as he is on the ground. I hope he wins, but probably going to get TKO. Finished in 2. That's my prediction. I'm thinking 1, unfortunately. Will there be face-offs today? Well, honestly, maybe it could go to round 2 because Volk came in on short notice, but Islam was already prepared for how he would beat Volk the second time. Whereas Moicano, he's a blank page. He has no idea how to fight a Moicano. Maybe his gym has told him some potential strategies in the future if Moicano ever fights you, but he fought Volk before and knew how to finish him. I don't know if he knows how to finish Moicano definitively. Will there be face-offs today? You'd hope so that they can promote the event. Patty doesn't deserve the Moicano fight. One is a star. One is the dude who beat old Bobby Green and Tony. Yeah, but
no, dude,
has name value. That's an insane take. That is an insane take.
Well, no. UFC values Patty.
Yeah.
Let me switch this really quick. Sorry. Yeah, the UFC highly values Patty. But I think what he's trying to say is that it's like, dude, Moicano is fighting for a title right now. And again, due to these circumstances, unforeseen. I think that even after tomorrow, I don't know if it'll make that much sense for him to do the Patty fight. That right. Just as far as the rankings go.
Right. But maybe Moicano will still want it, even after the title, because he knows that he has some pull. Patty's an amazing fighter, and he can take you down hard. That is true. Take you down hard, yes. Too much interview attended of Arman Tsarukyan. He didn't focus on his weight cut. He injured his back in the Nina vlog interview and headstand spinning body rotation. I saw that. I saw him just doing like contortionist shit, spinning around while I was trying to impress her. I blame Nina Drama for all of this. She is the root cause of all of life.
Dude, that has to be how he injured his back.
Yeah. He spun himself around. He was trying to do bridges and spin around with a.
He's like doing some breakdancing moves.
Yeah, pretty much. What a fucking idiot. Oh, that might be like the worst way that you lose a title fight ever.
And thank you. Who was that?
It was Yizzy Otaku with some breaking news.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, because I think you just hit the head, the nail right there. I think that's definitely it.
That's insane,
man.
Wow. So it's a Nina Drama curse. Don't show up on Nina Drama interviews before fight day, or something's going to happen that's going to get you in trouble. Islam probably keeps it on the feet and wins there overall, I imagine. Yep. Correct from City Your Life. UFC values him. Doesn't mean that he's a star. But if he were in the UK, that'd be a filled out arena to see him at the same time. He's a regional star. Dude, Moicano is fucking hilarious. Yeah, and that's why I'm happy for him and happy that he got this fight, but it's one he's not going to win. And hope that mom doctor is working the night off and on and stops the fight. Yes, that one doctor from the Colby versus Buckley fight stops the fight after Moicano gets a few elbows off. Moicano had better names under him and rankings, even though rankings are mostly yes. Yeah.
No,
that's a good question. If he loses, what do you think the UFC changes his ranking on the website?
What is he ranked at right now?
Like number 9.
I'll check the rankings right now.
I think he's number 10. I'm never gonna forgive Arman for pulling that Nina Drama shit. Incredible. Poston fight week, I'm telling you. He's just very set in his ways.
Okay.
When you back in Vancouver, well, yeah, he's not a wrestler. Yes, exactly. He's a hybrid fighter. He's excellent on the feet and on the ground.
Regional star, not a star, dude. I understand what you're just trying to say, but I also feel like, just take into consideration that I don't think that is the craziest booking for the UFC to make. Especially if Moicano wants it, and again, he's going to have fantastic standing with the promotion. I think a lot of people would
hype from the UFC fans as well. They've been asking for this matchup for months, if not like half a year. So it'd be the one that would draw eyes because it's already been hyped up by both guys. See at the top. Plus, if he beats Chandler, if they do have Patty versus Chandler and he beats Chandler, and Moicano maybe goes up a spot or two, and he wants a top 5, it makes sense, right?
True.
Anyway, I am sure he broke her back first after their session in their video. Wow. In the sauna.
Morning is more valuable takedown than Patty? Yeah. 100%.
True.
Maybe if Arman wouldn't be a ballerina with those dumb head spins, he wouldn't have had a back injury. Yeah. That's the story heading in now. Chatterhead, thank you for the super sticker, my friend.
Yeah,
appreciate it.
Yeah.
Also appreciate you being a member.
Yeah.
But okay, I guess we've kind of covered Renato.
most of it.
Benil. CDF, he had a hard weight cut, and he had to get the box out for his weigh-in. So I don't think that there's any chance he'll pull out of his fight with Grant Dawson, but I think Grant Dawson versus Benny would make sense. I think
lightweight, right?
I think Benny would. I think Benny will get a quick turnaround. At least that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
But I guess we should talk about like what is next for Arman. I mean, how significant of a back injury you think he suffered? Probably not. Arman's going to get a lot of hate for pulling out of this fight.
Yeah.
But I don't blame him. You want to make sure you're in peak physical condition. And, I think you'll probably agree with this a lot.
Actually, that gives me a follow-up question. Do you think it was wise of McGregor to pull out with that toe injury against Michael Chandler at UFC 3?
I think that any fighter pulling out because they have an injury is smart. You want to be in peak physical form when you go into a title fight, of all things. Now, famously, and I think you'll agree with this, like, hey, who's the king of pulling out of fights when they're not 100%? It's this camp that Islam is associated with.
Right.
They're smart.
He broke the mold. He broke the mold. Now he's the one taking all the short notice replacements.
Bro, but you're smart. If you don't fight injured, you're smart. Like, especially for a freaking title fight, dude. And so I don't think we should kill Arman too bad for this.
Do you think
I think he's being smart.
Do you think Arman gets an immediate title shot after this, or do you think he has to prove himself with a number one contenders fight?
Now, really quick, Sven Svensson, thank you so much for becoming a member.
Oh, he likes the angry Hank.
Seen you around for a minute in the chat, so really appreciate that.
Yeah.
The UFC is going to be very upset with him for ruining this title fight. And again, speculatively in the way that he did, which is, I think it's pretty obvious. Oh my gosh. Now, this is the other thing I wanted to get into, is because Islam breaks the title defense record. He then ties Kamaru Usman for 15 straight victories in the UFC.
Yep.
I personally believe he is eyeing up welterweight.
You'd probably be best.
So that would definitely create a terrible situation for Arman. Islam, your most hyped up opponent, the fight people want to see the most. He's now in a different division.
Then again, there's also a silver lining to that, in that maybe I'm going to be facing someone who's not Islam for the lightweight title.
Sure. But I guess what I'm interested in, it's just an opinion, but it's like, do you think that Islam will honor Arman and just be like, hey, when you're healthy, let's run it, if he wins, which we probably will?
I think Islam's probably the most honorable of his whole camp, of his whole family. When he says he's going to do something, he does it. He's literally given gifts to fighters who he's fought, including, Volk's kids and a guy who smashed his TV when he won against Charles. So I think he would honor some agreements if he made them. If he had a one-on-one with Talk. Yeah.
Now take this also into consideration. Let's say he beats Moicano. He says, Arman, I'll give you the fight. He goes and he's now on a 16-fight winning streak, and he ties Anderson Silva. After he beats Arman, he's tying Anderson Silva for the most 16-fight, win streak. It's going to be tainted a little bit, right? Because for what we've already talked about for his title defense streak, but also I don't think he'll be in the GOAT standing, even more so if he beats Arman. But then I also feel like that'll give him even more standing with the UFC to move up to welterweight.
Right. Because he's beaten everybody. He's beaten everybody who's a threat to him, or people are considering someone who actually has some talent in the lightweight division, who isn't all the old heads. I mean, obviously you can take on the next generation in the top 10, in the top 15, but that's going to take forever, and then you'll end up like a Pantoja. And with the welterweight and lightweight divisions, like, they want super fights in those divisions. They want ones that are going to be big because those are prestigious divisions. So I absolutely see him moving up instead of being a Pantoja.
Right now,
this kid in from Japan to be.
Welterweight is a little log jammed at the moment, though.
Yeah. Seg, but I don't think this move.
It's the craziest booking, but just no interest from fans after this. I disagree. I think that fans would like to see Patty versus Money, especially imagine if he goes out there and finishes Michael Chandler.
Yeah. Then it makes all the sense in the world.
Everyone was praising Arman's spine flexibility, and then he goes on and injures it. Maybe a tap nerve. Hey, what is up, Sean? Good to see you. And what is up, Nick? The good homie Nick, who was on MMA Nerd. Hank already called him an idiot. Hate begins. Who did he call? Oh, Arman.
Arman for breakdancing.
No, Arman. Arman pulled out of the fight with a back injury.
And maybe the staff made it worse as well.
Sven gifted himself a membership. That is hilarious. Should they have had a better backup? Who?
Is Chandler there? Is Dustin there? I mean, to be fair, Charles was there. They wanted that rematch, right? For a while. So if he, cut down the weight and it found a way on Saturday, or they fought a catch weight, maybe that one, in terms of bringing in more pay-per-view buys.
You know what? You make a good point. If they would have had somebody more marketable,
but
now, okay,
the UFC is pretty marketable in my opinion.
Oh, sure. The UFC rankings are not working for me right now. So this is how Tapology ranks lightweights. They have 3 Tsarukyan, 2 Charles, 4 Justin Gaethje, 5 Poirier, Gamrot 6, 7 Moicano, 8 Benny, Mike Davis at 9. What the hell? Yeah, these rankings are weird.
Yeah, they're all over the place, dude. Fans have their opinions. By the way, I could probably make like 50 more minutes, and then I'd probably have to head out. I got to
do your thing, dude. I appreciate you hopping on Emergency Podcast. You're absolutely right, though. I think Charles is probably the better replacement, but even then, it's like,
you can't rely on
someone. As far as a fight goes, it's like this is Arman versus Charles was the fight. Should get a title shot, but Dana is salty. Moicano was set to be the backup. Charlie, yeah. It was clear by the booking. Hey, Sean, thank you for becoming a member. Record this. Hank saying nice things about a Daggy. Poor Anik isn't here to see it.
Yep, poor guy. Terrible timing for Anakin MMA.
This reminds me of Khabib and Tony, and then Al. Yeah, a little bit. It's definitely that was probably the craziest week of combat sports like ever. Yes, there really isn't a better choice than Moicano. Leaving name value, Charles. Yeah, 100%. I wish Fiziev didn't get injured. Fiziev versus Islam would have been amazing. Yeah, that would have been a good fight. What's up, Michael Bisbing? Good to see you, Amberly. I'm super excited. Good. No, and I think we all are, right? And we broke it down now for what 30, 40 minutes. This is Renato Moicano's last hurrah. This is his time. If he's going to win a title, this is it, which also sucks for him because he's not 100% ready, but this is his moment. So I would prefer to see Charles get a full camp. Yeah, totally. Especially in a rematch. And Renato Moicano to that same tune, it's like, but, crazy circumstances call for crazy stuff. So it was smart of them to, and they always do this. And like I said before, the UFC is not about to cancel an event or even a fight at the top of the card. You know what I'm saying?
It's drastic times require drastic measures. I believe
100%. I think Renato Moicano could be a GFL champ.
Yes, he could. He will.
He's a vet. He deserves the opportunity. Exactly, Amberly.
And here's actually a hot take from me. I don't think that Renato Moicano would have gotten a title fight if not for this circumstance. You know what I'm saying? Like in his next couple fights, I think he would have lost a number 1 contenders fight before he got a title fight. In my
saying
opinion,
he beats Benny in spectacular fashion, like he's not getting a title shot. I totally agree with that.
He'd have to fight Charles. He'd have to fight Gaethje. I mean, he could beat Gaethje, to be fair. Like, he'd have a good chance, but he'd probably have to fight Arman at some point, and then Arman just smash Breda. So, yeah.
Well, I think we've beaten this horse to death.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm glad
one thing I would like to ask you is I did watch the presser and somebody did ask Dana White about the fires and he was just like, oh yeah, no, we never considered moving it.
Yeah, never at all. Yeah.
Oh, but it's like, okay, and like we both said we wanted to see him donate some money to like firefighters in the area, and he didn't make any mention of that. Maybe they'll do it on the broadcast, or maybe Dana will announce it on Instagram during the card or something, but it seems like that's unlikely.
All he's given so far is $50K to that girl that Yuri shaved his head for, but nothing else so far. But he better on Saturday, in my opinion, if he's not a complete Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
So,
all right, guys. There you go. Amberly is having issues with the Discord. That's hilarious.
I need to see that Discord, by the way.
Next time Isha goes live, just hit him up. You can get in there. We do have a Discord. We'll fully launch it here soon. Dana said, we're fired to be here to.
Oh,
he did say that. Stipe was there throwing water bottles on the fire.
Nice. They did a better job. Made a better effort than trying to beat John Jones.
I think they will on the broadcast, or he did behind the scenes. Got it. Fired up. Yeah, horrible choice of words. All right, guys. Hank the Tank tomorrow, live and in color, Technicolor. We'll be doing a fight companion. Check that out. After the fights, always, there will be a post show with me. I'll break down the card, and then the audience gets a chance to hop in and say anything they want. Just don't show no nudity, please. Okay.
Don't but
I think it's time for us to get out of here. Hank, thank you very much for joining me for our emergency podcast. I was just sitting here playing Fire Emblem, so
all good.
This is much better content. That's it. Well, almost 2 hours I've been streaming, so we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, everybody. Stay frosty.